Estelle, can you tell me a little bit about what it is that you do, both in Japan and in Brazil?
I was working with an organization in Brazil until July this year.
Mm-hmm.
It is the Lumiar Institute. And the Lumiar Institute observes innovation in the Lumiar schools and brings this knowledge to a framework that can be published and can be shared.
Mm-hmm.
And the intention of Lumiar Institute is to find out key elements for innovation and make them available for the public sector, especially in Brazil. After that, after this work with Lumiar Institute, I've been working as a consultant for innovation and creativity. So, and I've been presenting in conferences the results of my research and my experience.
Mm-hmm. And then, can you tell me a little bit about exactly what it is that you do? Because we were speaking a little bit earlier, and you were talking about influencing the children and then influencing their families through the children, and that sounds very interesting to me, because that's what I'm trying to do here in Qatar, in my own culture. So do you mind sharing your experiences?
No, not at all.
Thank you.
I can. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Can we please not swivel
sorry.
around, because it's just causing a bit of.
I'm like a kid.
We're supposed to get a static chair so that it allows you to
Doesn't
just
move.
sit. Yeah, a bit.
I can repeat if necessary anything.
Okay, so just starting from where you left off, answering the question now.
Okay, so I had a very interesting experience in Brazil with a rural school and the community around that school. And I was working for Raustom Semble Foundation, supporting Lumiar Institute. And we sponsor a change in the public school that was almost closing down, and we made a partnership with the city council, and between the city council and the foundation, we set up a different approach for education in that neighborhood. So what our intention was to, let's say, to develop a new model for education in the school.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened, in fact, was much broader than what we expected. We started developing projects with the kids based on what they want to learn. So we were observing any comment they did about, oh, did you see yesterday in the television this program about animals? So we said, okay, animals are interesting in the moment. So we went to the neighborhood to see, is anybody here knowledgeable about animals? For example, we found a lady that she was very good in training dogs, and she was loving dogs, if you can say that. And he had an amazing, she had an amazing relationship with animals. So we invited her to come to the school to develop a project with the kids. And then we gather the teachers saying, okay, what can kids learn with that project regarding the national curriculum?
Mm-hmm.
So languages, mathematics, science, or history, or ecology, or any other subject that could be asked for the Ministry of Education. So we managed to put all together in a project and offer that to the kids. And that kind of project that was bringing interest from the kids, knowledge from the community, plus the demands from the government, arose a huge interest from the kids' side in the way that they were arriving home, saying to the parents, oh, look, today I've learned this and that, and you know that lady that lives close by us, so she knows this and she knows that. And they were so enthusiastic that the parents started coming to the school, knocking the door. They don't know very well what they were doing, in fact, in my view, but they wanted to get closer to the school. So as soon as we saw they coming, we started organizing events for them to participate in the school. So, for example, teachers had once a week a training session. So we opened in the end of the training session for the parents that were interested in participating.
Mm-hmm.
So the parents start feeling part of the school, part of the planning, and very important because their opinion also counted on the planning for the school. And as soon as they felt validated, they start asking as well, oh, I also would like to learn, English as well. I never developed another language, or I would like to know better maths because I stopped studying at the 4th grade. So what happened was that suddenly the school started having a demand from the parents to study. And we organized courses. In the end, we had courses morning, afternoon, evening, holidays. So the school was operating full-time with the participation not only from people from the community, but we were inviting people from other places. Also international students coming. Rockefeller Foundation sent some students, and many people participated in the development of that community. And after one and a half year approximately, we also organized a big event in the neighborhood, and we invited people like you are doing here in Wise, in a much smaller scale, but let's say personalities from the political sector, from the education, from culture and arts, from many sectors that were interested in community development. And we organized many workshops and presentations. So that place was transformed in, let's say, in 2 years, from a very deprived place, but with a beautiful landscape, but very deprived in terms of education and monetary resources, in a place that was plenty of interest for learning and events that were very much connected with their knowledge and their place. And I think this kind of empowerment, let's say, not only of the kids, but also of the family, of the community, brought fantastic results in terms of a very fast learning curve. So you could see, for example, I remember a person that was very well known in the neighborhood because he used to drink a bit more than recommended. So many times people saw him walking a bit drunk, But when the community started organizing themselves into a more, let's say, conscious community of what they needed, what they wanted, they invited this guy to be the president of the neighborhood because he had many skills. And so he ran to the school, knocked the door and said, oh, I have to learn now because they asked me to be the president of the community, so I have to learn more maths because we have to set up an administration project, and I would like also to read something, to be more fluent in my speaking. So, everybody that was touched by a new possibility, I saw those people transforming themselves. And also, we had a lot of little groups in the neighborhood, for example, oh, this family doesn't go well with that family because something that happened 5 years ago or something like that. But they start finding something more strong in common than those old disputes. And so we had very nice parties where everybody was participating, and they said to me, look, I don't remember last time that the whole neighborhood gathered in one event. So this is a very brief description of this process. I don't know if any element that called more your attention, that you can see a link with what you're looking for.
It's definitely an amazing success story, and I love how you employed the resources that were already there. So in terms of parents, in terms of the other members of the community that had knowledge to be shared. So I definitely can relate to that, and that's definitely what I'm trying to do here, is we have the resources, it's just that we need to give the people the incentive to employ them, and the incentive in your case was that the school and their own children's education. So that's very, very nice, and that's very, very interesting, and I'm loving that someone else was able to do it, and I hope that I'll be able to do it here.
I'm sure
How about in Japan? Were you doing the same thing, or are you doing something different?
In Japan, I am engaged also with solutions for the community, because after the earthquake in March of this year, we had a huge need, several needs in fact, but in Tokyo, where I live, many people arrived temporarily as refugees, let's say, and those people usually they are completely out of their community, so they don't have much social contact. It's very difficult for them to work, and also they used to living in places that are tiny. They don't have the fish they used to fish, or the garden they used to cultivate, their jobs, hairdresser or something. So they lose not only their house, but they lose also the community and the job. And we were asking ourselves, how could we promote some kind of support for them, and how they can help us as well, being foreigners in a culture like Japan that is so amazing, so fascinating. Coming from the conviction that when you want to help somebody, many times the best way to help somebody is let that person help you, because that brings the best the person has. So we ran some meetings, and we found a very nice theme for the meetings that is very much connected with the Japanese culture, that is food, cooking. So we organized some cooking classes from different cultures. For example, I gave last Friday an Argentinian cooking class. I was born in Argentina. So the Japanese ladies and the kids came, and we had lots of fun learning the Argentinian cooking. And after that, we had the opportunity to talk, and to see their needs, and also to express our needs. And they were very happy to see that they have many skills, and they can, share this with us. And we also are very happy to open our houses and being, let's say, like a temporary family for them. Our families are far away usually, and their families also, some of them unfortunately lose part of the family. So we are trying to find, a combination of resources, let's say, in order to develop everybody. So this is one of the projects that I've been participating.
Everything sounds very amazing and very nice, and I love that you were able to employ that concept of community and everyone helping everyone, and like an open channel of help that goes both ways, and both in Brazil and in Japan. So I'm hoping that maybe I can kind of like borrow your
Of course.
and try to employ them here and see how that works out for me. But thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
It was great to talk to you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.